How to read lies, detecting deception through body language. The truth about lying. I didn't eat the last cookie, your roommate insists, while chocolate crumbs cling to their shirt. I was stuck in traffic, your employee explains, avoiding your gaze as their hand touches their neck. I'm totally over my ex, your friend declares, their voice rising unnaturally as they cross their arms defensively. We've all encountered liars. More uncomfortably, we've all been the liar. Research suggests that people lie, on average, once or twice per day, ranging from small white lies to protect feelings to significant deceptions that can damage trust and relationships. But here's the fascinating part. Our bodies are terrible co-conspirators. While our mouths weave elaborate fictions, our bodies leak the truth through dozens of involuntary signals. Learning to spot these signals doesn't just help you catch lies, it helps you understand when something does not add up, when to dig deeper, and when someone might be hiding important information. Why we leak when we lie. Lying creates cognitive load. Your brain has to work much harder than when telling the truth. When you tell the truth, you simply recall what happened. When you lie, your brain must invent a believable story. Keep track of what you've said. Monitor the listener's reaction. Suppress the truth. Control your body language. Maintain the deception consistently. This mental juggling act creates stress, and stress leaks through body language. Additionally, most people feel some level of guilt or fear about lying. Fear of being caught, guilt about deceiving, and these emotions trigger involuntary physical responses. The key insight: no single behavior definitively indicates lying, but clusters of behaviors create patterns that signal deception. The face, where lies begin to crack. Micro-expressions, the 1-5-second truth. When someone lies, their true emotion often flashes across their face for just 1/25th to 1/5 of a second before they can control it. These micro-expressions are nearly impossible to fake and incredibly difficult to suppress. Common micro-expressions during deception: fear, brief widening of eyes, raised eyebrows, fear of being caught; contempt, one-sided lip curl, feeling superior for fooling you; disgust, nose wrinkle, raised upper lip, disgust at themselves or the situation; anxiety, rapid blinking, lip pressing, the asymmetrical smile. Genuine smiles engage both sides of the face equally and involve the eyes, creating crow's feet wrinkles. When someone lies while smiling, the smile appears only on one side of the face. The smile doesn't reach the eyes. The timing is off. Smile appears too late or lingers too long. The smile appears and disappears abruptly rather than gradually. Watch a politician during a scandal press conference. You'll often see these false smiles appearing and vanishing like a light switch rather than blooming naturally. Eye behavior, more complex than you think, Emmys. Mythbuster, looking left or right does not reliably indicate lying. This popular myth has been thoroughly debunked by research. What actually matters about eyes? Avoiding eye contact can indicate deception, but also shyness, cultural norms, or neurodiversity. Context matters. Too much eye contact. Overcompensation. Liars who know people watch for avoidance may maintain unnaturally intense eye contact. Pupil dilation. Pupils constrict when lying due to cognitive load, though this is subtle and affected by lighting. Increased blinking. Stress from lying often increases blink rate. Looking away when answering, more significant if it's a departure from their baseline behavior. The nose knows the Pinocchio effect is real, sort of. When people lie, stress hormones cause tissues in the nose to swell slightly, creating an itching sensation. Watch for frequent nose, touching, or scratching. Quick nose rubs, distinct from natural scratching. Hand hovering near or touching the nose while speaking. Bill Clinton famously touched his nose repeatedly during his "I did not have sexual relations" testimony, once every 4 minutes on average. Body language, the uncontrolled truth. The neck and throat. The neck is a vulnerable area that we instinctively protect when stressed. Covering the neck. Hand touches neck, throat, or suprasternal notch, the small dip at the base of the throat. Collar pulling. Tugging at collar or loosening tie. Stress creates sensation of heat. Throat clearing, excessive throat clearing or swallowing. Stress causes throat to constrict. Adam's apple jump, visible swallowing, especially in men. hand and arm. Gestures illustrate or decrease. When people lie, hand gestures that normally illustrate speech, called illustrators, often decrease or become stiff. The person becomes more rigid and less animated. Self-soothing behaviors, called adapters. Rubbing hands together, playing with jewelry, watch, or ring. Picking at fingernails, wringing hands, stroking arms. Barrier creation. Crossing arms suddenly when questioned. Placing objects, coffee cup, bag, pillow, between you and them. Creating distance by leaning back, hand to face. Covering mouth while speaking, as if to hold back the lie. Touching or scratching face excessively. Rubbing the eye, subconsciously not wanting to see your reaction. The feet don't lie. Remember, the further from the face, the more honest the signal. Feet are the most neglected and therefore most truthful part of body language. Pointing away. Feet aim toward the exit rather than toward you. Tapping or bouncing, nervous energy seeking release. Ankle locking. Wrapping ankles around chair legs, self-restraint. Sudden stillness. Someone who is animated becoming frozen. Cognitive load. Rocking or shifting. Transferring weight repeatedly. Discomfort, desire to leave. Posture changes. Sudden rigidity, body becomes stiff and still, controlling the urge to flee. Leaning away, creating distance from the conversation. Closed posture, making body smaller, hunching shoulders. Fidgeting increase, restless movements spike during deceptive answers. Verbal cues, the language of deception. Body language doesn't work alone. Listen for these verbal patterns. Language changes. Pronoun avoidance. That money wasn't taken versus I didn't take that money. Over-specificity. Too many unnecessary details. Trying too hard to sound truthful. Lack of detail. Vague answers that can't be pinned down. Formal language. I did not instead of I didn't. Creating psychological distance. Repeating the question. Stalling for time to construct an answer. Timing and pitch response delay. Pause before answering. Cognitive load. Too quick response. Rehearsed answer delivered too smoothly. Voice pitch rises. Stress causes vocal cords to tighten. Speaking rate changes. Usually faster. Anxiety, but sometimes slower. Careful construction. Vocal fillers increase. More, like, defensive or aggressive responses. Deflection. Answering a different question than asked. Attacking credibility. Why would you even ask me that? Fake indignation. Over-the-top offense at being questioned. Bringing up honesty. To be honest. Or, honestly. Ironic tells. Invoking higher powers. I swear on my mother's grave. Trying too hard. The incongruence test. When things don't match. The most reliable indicator of deception isn't any single signal. It's incongruence between different communication channels. Words say yes. Head shakes no. Verbal and nonverbal mismatch. Claiming happiness with sad facial expression. Emotional incongruence. Relaxed words with tense body. Mind-body disconnect. Aggressive words with withdrawn posture. Intention behavior mismatch. Our unconscious mind picks up these mismatches, creating that something's off feeling. Now you can consciously identify what's triggering your intuition. Common mistakes in lie detection. Mistake number 1, judging without baseline. You must know how someone normally behaves. Does your friend always fidget? Does your colleague naturally avoid eye contact? Deviations from baseline are what matter, not absolute behaviors. Mistake number 2, single signal syndrome. One crossed arm doesn't mean lying. Look for clusters of 3 to 5 signals appearing together and changes from normal behavior. Mistake number 3, confirmation bias. If you suspect someone is lying, you'll interpret everything as confirmation. Stay objective and consider alternative explanations. Mistake number 4, ignoring context. Job interviews, first dates, medical settings, these naturally create nervousness that mimics lying signals. Consider the situation. Mistake number 5, cultural blindness, eye contact norms. Personal space and gestures vary dramatically across cultures. What seems evasive in one culture is respectful in another. When lie detection fails. Some people are natural liars who show fewer tells. Psychopaths and sociopaths, reduced anxiety about lying. Pathological liars. Years of practice have reduced their tells. Trained professionals, salespeople, lawyers, actors. Genuine believers. People who've convinced themselves their lie is true. And remember, nervousness isn't lying. Innocent people can show all the signs of deception simply because they're anxious about being suspected. Practical exercise. Spot the deception. Watch a video of someone you don't know. Try a political speech, court testimony, or reality TV show. Turn off the sound for 2 minutes and just watch the body language. What do you notice? Then listen without watching, just the audio. What verbal patterns emerge? Finally, watch with both audio and video. Do the channels match? Write down any incongruences you spot. Do this 3 times this week with different videos. You'll be amazed how quickly your detection skills improve. Ethical considerations. Important. Use these skills wisely. Don't accuse. Noticing deception signals isn't proof of lying. Ask questions. If something seems off, dig deeper with open-ended questions. Consider reasons. Maybe they're protecting someone or hiding something embarrassing but not harmful. Build trust. Sometimes creating safety for truth is better than catching lies. Check yourself. Are you being fair and objective? Key takeaways. No single behavior means lying. Look for clusters of 3 to 5 signals. Micro-expressions flash true emotions before control kicks in. Baseline is crucial. Judge changes from normal behavior, not absolutes. Feet don't lie. The furthest body parts are the most honest. Incongruence is key. When words and body don't match, trust the body. Context matters. Nervousness can mimic deception signals. Cognitive load leaks. Lying is mentally exhausting and shows physically. Listen for verbal patterns. Pronoun avoidance, over-detail, timing changes. Stay ethical. Detection isn't accusation. Understanding beats confrontation. Coming next, how to read love. In our next article, we'll explore the opposite end of the emotional spectrum, the unmistakable signs of genuine affection and love. You'll learn the body language of attachment, the facial expressions that signal deep connection, and how to tell when someone is truly, deeply interested in you. From pupil dilation to unconscious mirroring, we'll decode the silent language of love. Remember, the goal isn't to become a human lie detector. It's to become more aware, more understanding, and better at reading the emotional truth beneath the surface.